Hey. Good morning. Good morning.
How you doing?
You ready to go farm?
How you doing?
Dang. I thought I made it out before the rain. We've had so much rain this year. More than I've ever noticed, but I don't know because, you know, I didn't pay attention to stuff like that before I had a farm.
Because I have a sweater hat.
You have a sweater hat? Goats are all going inside. My boys are like running outside. It's pouring down rain outside.
Is your camera not waterproof?
No.
I know you're not waterproof. You made of sugar, you melt.
Went back in for just a minute and the rain has stopped-ish. It's really drizzly out. But I'm gonna go ahead and go down to the garden because it's supposed to rain all afternoon and I wanna go to the garden before I don't have a chance today. So some of you have asked for an update on the kid garden, and I did share when the dogs dug up this bed and they did a number on it. The rest of the stuff is going okay. The peas look great. The carrots had gotten washed all over, so there's carrots just growing all over in this bed. As you can see here, that's carrots kind of mixed in with just a little bit of weeds. And the dogs just loved the cabbage and the broccoli. They just ate it out. So I haven't encouraged the kids to spend a lot of time down here until we can get a fence up around it. So unfortunately, the kid garden proved to teach some really hard lessons for their first experience in their own garden. And truly, like, I was really sad for them, but they bounced back from it. They're still really encouraged. They're excited for spring. We are gonna put a fence around this and also mulch the ground because it's really kind of muddy right here. You know, part of me wants to protect them from disappointment like that, but then the other part of me is just a tiny bit glad that they experienced something like a big loss when they first tried. And I know that's crazy and that's just like a crazy mindset, but the fact that I've been able to encourage excitement beyond that loss and looking at what's still available and telling them, well, hey, you know, you're welcome to come help in my garden until we get this reestablished in the spring, and really tell them, well, let's look forward till next time. That's a valuable lesson for a gardener. So it's a hard lesson. It's not what I would have chosen for them, but I can see the value in it. This rosemary plant smells amazing. That might be one of my favorite herbal smells. So the rain is really kind of boss hogging our plans for the day. However, this fog is pretty majestic. I don't have anything down here that I just absolutely have to do today. I just like to spend a little bit of time in the garden every day, aside from coming down and picking dinner. I just like to walk around and look at it. We are so close to this season coming to a close. The first time it frosts, all these flowers are going to be gone. You know, a lot of the green's going to be gone. The beans will be gone. And I'll still have some fall stuff, but the garden will not be the beautiful space that it is right now. So I've been really trying to spend a lot of time down here and enjoy it because, my goodness, I miss the green whenever the winter comes. You want to check on my little salad greenhouse? Oh man, it's looking good. Here we go. Lots of germination. Some of these little dudes are starting to get really good sized. It's wonderful. It's doing really well. I've had multiple people ask me about watering these greens in this little tub greenhouse. And overwatering is probably more of an issue in new gardeners than underwatering, because you're excited about your garden and you want to take good care of it. You tend to overdo it and accidentally kill it. And I wish I had covered this more in the original video to help people out with that, but I try to keep it as short as possible. I know I can get a little long-winded, but in this little tub greenhouse, if you have built one of these, you don't have to water it a whole lot because one, the tub is holding in a lot of humidity. Two, it's not that hot outside, and so it's not going to be forcing as much evaporation out of your soil. I've actually when I planted mine, my bag had been rained on, so it was moist inside and I did not water it. And then I think I went 4 days before I watered it the first time. And just when the top of the soil starts changing colors and looking a little lighter, that's whenever I went ahead and watered it. Not like soaking wet, but just till it's moist again. Covered it back up, and I haven't watered it again since then. So that's going to vary where you are. If you live in a place that is warmer or you're getting a lot of sun, you might have to water it more often. And if you live in a place that's cooler, you might have to water it less. The rain is back. Gotta go inside, out of my garden. Oh, you know what we could do? We could go to the barn and check on Ducky. Well, there's a beautiful man standing in the middle of the road on his cell phone. What are you doing?
Got off the phone with my sister.
Oh, Jeremiah likes to come out and pace the road while he talks on the phone. Look at his little ear sticking out of his hat because he was on the phone. Isn't he so cute?
Only you think I'm that cute. Like, these are not like cool things for everybody else. These are endearing to you.
I'm going to stand under this tree where I'm not getting rained on. What are you doing today? You want to tell us?
For the third time, I'm going to repair the greenhouse. And this is the last time I'll repair this thing. If it breaks, I'm just going to tear it down and build a different one.
There it is, my greenhouse. I know we've talked about it before, but I will tell you guys. Our greenhouse was a Harbor Freight kit, bought as a gift by Jeremiah's Nana. We reinforced it. It fell apart. We rebuilt it. It fell apart again. So we went with some higher quality materials this time. Gonna build a new roof and hopefully that will do it. Looks like your dad's burning over there.
That was from last night.
Oh wow.
Actually, when I got home last night and you were already kind of asleep with Ben, I cleaned up the kitchen and then went over there, checked on him. I don't know, I keep doing that ever since everything that happened with Mom. Like, I just go over there and check on my dad. I mean, he's like fine, but whatever.
Do you want to go to the barn with me and check on Duck?
Yeah.
Hey girls! Hey beautiful goats! Now look how fluffy they are. They look like little polar goats. Here's our little goaty girl in question. So today we're going to work on putting something underneath her so that her legs can straighten out. She's been trying to get up, but her legs are giving her a hard time. We're also going to work more today with like a sling underneath her. A lot of people suggested that. I think that's a really great idea. Just using a towel to hold her up. But you know, obviously that works with her a little bit, but even doing that several times a day, her legs are still curled up a lot. So Rose was talking about with full-size goats, you put a hay bale underneath them, which obviously that's too big for her. So we're going to find something that we can prop underneath her and hold her up. Move, darling. So that her legs can stay straight and not be curled up. And even though she still has a little ways to go on recovery, I feel, wow, that's loud. I feel so much better. I feel like she's gonna make a full recovery. I'm not worried about her at all anymore. I know that we've got to get her legs, you know, completely back underneath her, but just some physical therapy essentially is all she needs. She's not sick anymore. She's actually moving all around this stall, scooching around on her elbows, able to get to the food and water. Thank you guys so much for praying for her and for all your advice and your encouragement. I really appreciate it. Sometimes when it's raining for days on end, I'll just come stand out here in the barn because I miss being out on the farm. And so I just come stand out here to be a part of it without getting soaking wet. I've also actually slept in this stall before. Our barn's really not much of a barn. It's just sort of a small shelter that we made some stalls in. It's really open, but it serves the purpose of keeping them warm and dry, and we let the goats kid in these stalls. And I've totally slept in here before with a kidding doe.
Story purr like
Is that your favorite farm kitty?
Yeah, I pick her up and just start scratching her. She just starts purring and closing her eyes. Like, I love Kitten George, but she may be my new baby. And look how cool her coloring is. Like, she's got that orange.
Yeah, she's actually
gray.
part calico, I think. Like, she's like a version of a calico.
And her being as young as she is and not really scratching that bad, like, I like that. I don't like being scratched by cats.
Yeah, she's a good one. Little Gayle.
I like that they've been hanging out in the back porch. It helps keep mice away.
Yeah. And here is Gary, our second Gary cat to have. He's got big paw prints to fill because our first Gary was a great cat. He was my little garden cat. Gary was always down in the garden with me. He was very old when we got him. We adopted him from the shelter, and when I take my kids to the shelter to adopt an animal, they find the most decrepit animal. That's the one they always want. And so we've adopted 2 very old cats and had both of them for about a year and a half or 2 before they passed away. And we knew when we got them that they were very old and we wouldn't have much time with them. But that's the ones that my kids always choose, are the old ones that are falling apart, losing their teeth, bad eyes. And they're like, Mom, if we don't adopt these, nobody will. And I'm like, well, you're probably right. So we bring home the old ones and they retire here on our farm. Then Kitten George, he's the first cat that we've had that's been from a kitten. And then we've got these 2 kittens. Kitten George has turned out to be amazing though, so I'm hoping that these will be as great as him. Ooh, I just sat on this freezer and it is wet. My butt is soaking wet now. Now, it is pouring, like beyond Jeremiah being able to work on the greenhouse. He was being stubborn and insisting that he was going to work on it in the rain, but there's no way. It would be dangerous to try to be on a ladder in this kind of rain. So, kind of shifted our plans. I'm actually getting ready to leave. Thank you guys for spending a little bit of time with me this morning walking around on this rainy, foggy, yucky day. I think I covered several of the things that y'all were asking for updates on. But as for now, I bless you. Until next time.